So I made a Mosaic cream ale, similar to the Genesee Brew House Mosaic cream ale. This one's mine. And this is the Genesee Mosaic cream ale. Let's see how it's done. So welcome back. So today we are going to do a cream ale right here. Not going to be the normal Genesee cream ale. It's going to be actually Genesee Brew House's pilot, or the Pilot House Mosaic cream ale. And I'm going to go head to head against the brewer of the Mosaic cream ale right here. Even though he doesn't know that we're going head to head and doesn't even know about this. But I will have him try it later on. But we're doing a Mosaic cream ale. As I said, it's a dry hop Mosaic cream ale. The Pilot House, Genesee Pilot House, has been making that for several years now. And then also the main brewery, the Genesee Brewery, actually did a couple runs of it canning-wise and distributed it. But it is one of the most popular sellers at the brew house. And so I'm going to make my version. I know it's already different. I already talked to Dean Jones about the ingredients he uses. And I'm changing it up a little bit. I'm going to go with Pilsner and two-row. And he goes with just two-row. So, and I'm also going to add Flaked Corn and Carafoam. I almost forgot what I was putting in it. And then Mosaic Hops. That's all we're doing. So, let's get to this. We'll do some brewing. We'll do some tasting. Maybe we'll get a comment from Dean Jones. And then we'll see how it is. So, let's make some beer. So here I already milled my barley, and as usual I double crush for the clawhammer system. I also pre-treated the water with 6.8 grams of calcium chloride, 2.5 grams of Epsom salts, 2.2 grams of salt, 1.3 grams of gypsum. And here we're just getting the dough balls out, and the mash temperature was set at 152. And I'm trying something different today with the recirculation during the mash. I actually am just putting the hose right in here and letting it flow. And just turn down the valve down here just to slow it down a little bit. But I read on Facebook there's a Clawhammer Facebook page, and somebody had mentioned to do this to help with the temperature, because the temperature seems to fluctuate a little bit too much. The temperature seems to fluctuate a little bit. So it gets a little bit more flow, and I think it's passing by the thermostat, or the probe, temperature probe, a lot quicker. I think. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the efficiency comes out. Right now we're at 154. I can't even get it down to 152, and I got the heat off. So we'll see how this one works. Great time to try a new method when I'm trying to make a beer to go against somebody else's beer. So the pH is a little high. It's about 5.6. So I'm going to add about a half a cap full, maybe a little 3/4. I'd like it closer to 5.2. So we raise the temperature up to 168 for our mash out. And then we'll start boiling. Here I'm raising the basket in order to drain the mash. I'll let it drain for approximately 15 minutes and then put the basket into a bucket and let everything else drain out. During this time, I also raise the temperature of the kettle to just below boil, so it's heated up and ready to go for our first addition of hops. And you see here, pre-boil gravity was 1.046. So I got a half ounce of Mosaic going in at 60. With 15 minutes left in the boil, I added 3/4 of a pound of sugar and my yeast nutrients. And here you can see the hose in front of the camera. That goes down to the plate chiller, which I had already previously set up and ready to go. And here at Flame Out, I added my last edition of Mosaic Hops. And here we're chilling the wort and filling the fermenter. Here the gravity indicates it was 1.067. My hydrometer indicated 1.064, so I went with the 1.064. And then we added our Saflager 3470 yeast. So here I'm just sanitizing my keg. What I do is I just fill the keg up with Star San, force it with carbon dioxide into another keg, and so when it's done, it's been sanitized and it's purged with CO2. And then my next keg's got Star San in it. Then filling the keg is close transfer. It's a must. Keep that oxygen out. So my Mosaic Cream Ale went into the fermenter at 1064, came out at 1.013. So it ended up being a 6.8%. Genesee brew house is typically around 6.2, 6.3. So it's just a little bit higher. Obviously, the initial gravity was higher than what it intended to be. Now my numbers were supposed to bring it out to a 6.3%. But as I said, I was about, we'll say 4 points high. The beer fermented for 11 days under pressure at 10 psi. Then I kegged and carved it, and it's been 2 days since that's occurred. So right now the beer is 2 days since being kegged. Aroma is really nice. Nice citrusy aroma, those Mosaic hops, which I love. Nice citrus, tropical. I'm getting ahead of myself. Mouthfeel. Mouthfeel's creamy. Nice mouthfeel to it. I did add flaked corn. So there's a percentage of flaked corn in there. And then we'll get into flavor. Nice flavor to it. Really good. You can definitely get the citrus, the tropical fruit. A little stone fruit in there. Not a lot of bitterness. IBUs were 23. As I said, it was a 6.8%. If you're interested in the color came out at 4.0 SRM. So the beer was dry hopped with Mosaic hops. I dumped the trub before I dry hopped. With the Fermzilla, you got the little jar at the bottom of the Fermzilla. So I pulled out the trub that was in there, cleaned out the jar, sanitized it, put in my hops, purged it with CO2, And then when you open up that butterfly valve, the pressure inside that jar, just a little bit more than what was in the fermenter, throws those hops right up to the top. And then again, after it settled out in cold crash, it dropped up again. So, but it came out as, it's pretty hazy. I did add biofine in the keg. I contemplated doing it or not doing it, because when you dry hop, obviously there's going to be some haziness to it, and it's supposed to be there. But this actually is a nice haze. Now, it is a very light color. It's a very like a yellowish, little less than gold, little yellowish. I think it's going to be a little lighter than the original Genesee Mosaic Cream Ale. But man, that is good. Now, I had asked Dean Jones, the brewer at the Genesee Brew House, and he said that when he does his Mosaic Cream Ale, he just uses 2-row. So I used Pilsner in 2-row. It's basically 60% Pilsner, 40% 2-row. And then with the Flaked Corn, I added a pound of Flaked Corn for a 5-gallon batch, and then a half a pound or 8 ounces of Carafoam. And that was it. Did a single infusion mash. We did that at 152, and then we mashed out at 168. So if you want to try my Mosaic Cream Ale, the recipe description will be down below. Take a look at that. You can make your own version of it, I guess. I'll probably be making this one again, even though I can get this at the brew house, but it is a little bit different. I'm also going to have Dean Jones try this. I'm hoping that he'll agree with having this videotaped, and then we'll add it on maybe as a short, or just another episode. We'll interview Dean and maybe get his background and things that he's done, and then we'll compare the two mosaics. But that'll be another time. I just haven't talked to him about it. He's on vacation right now. We're currently just finished the Labor Day weekend, and I know he's off the rest of the week. So we will attempt to do that at a later time. And we'll, for now, going to prepare for the next brew. Next one is actually going to be the use of experimental hops. And we'll get into that a little bit the next time. These hops currently obviously aren't named. Excuse me. The experimental hops are currently just a number, and the number is 17704. They are a fruity, citrusy type hop. I think it's 10.1. Yep. It has 10.1% alpha acids, but we'll discuss that at the next time. Just give me a heads up on what's coming up. Why don't we just call this a video? And again, Mosaic Cream Ale, very delicious. And I've had nobody try this yet, so, which is uncommon for me. I usually don't do the tasting until the keg's almost gone. I just got this kegged and just started to carbonate 2 days ago. So only one person stopped over and he had a little bit of it, but that was yesterday and it was still a little bit flat. Hadn't really carbonated enough. And it probably needs another day. The regulator on the line that I'm using for this only goes up to 15 PSI. And so I can't force carbonate it any more than that. My other line's being used for hop water. So, and that one goes up to 60 PSI. So anyways, again, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Love it that you guys watch these videos to the end. Again, we will continue to do this for better or worse. But here we go. Cheers, folks. Enjoy. La 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 la. Alright, now we're back to boiling it. What in the hell, man? Hurry, 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 hurry. Do 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 do. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Wow. Man. Rock and roll!
Just to make sure. Yippee skippy.